Everybody, welcome to McDonald's.
Oh, okay.
Hello, welcome to McDonald's.
What would you like to order? Oh, a Big Mac? Okay.
What's the things you want to eat, please?
I would like a chicken nugget. Specifically, a chicken nugget.
Hey, what are our topics tonight?
Yeah, what?
Well, folks, welcome to... See, this is why you gotta wait for my intro, okay? That's the thing with this podcast.
Whatever.
Right?
Good.
Welcome to Late Night, the Late Night podcast where we talk about a whole bunch of cool shit that most people usually do not talk about. Especially on podcasts, although it's probably not true, but whatever. It doesn't really make a difference to me. Here I am with Jeremy Soto and Steven Schiaparoli here tonight, and we're going to be talking about a whole bunch of cool stuff. I just want to be like, hey Shiv, hey Jeremy, how are you guys? How you guys doing?
Good, man. Just not looking forward to waking up and working.
Aren't we all?
Yeah.
Okay. I want this to go through. Okay. Alright, there we go. Alright, well. Anyway, so while we're here, let's talk a little bit about some movie news that I have with us tonight. Mm-hmm. There's a whole bunch of things that have been announced, including some news about Mark Wahlberg and Ratchet & Clank, and I did have another link somewhere here. Hold on. Well, we've got a whole bunch of things to talk about tonight. I do not know why this is echoing. Hold on.
Sorry, it didn't work on your iPod.
Oh, I know what I can do. I can just make it go. No? Will that work? Oh, that's much better. Okay. So, welcome to the Late Night Podcast, where we are going to talk about a whole bunch of cool stuff. And, first thing we're going to talk about is Mark Wahlberg. Now, I don't know if you two know, but Mark Wahlberg was announced as the $6 billion man for Peter Berg in their cinematic remake of the same title. If you guys are familiar with the whole $6 billion man series or whatever.
I'm vaguely familiar with it. I'm surprised they were booting it up again.
Apparently they're making it into a movie, which is fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah? Is it a good series?
I mean, my dad was a big fan of it when he was a kid, and I mean, it's about a dude who he becomes, according to the description here anyway, Wahlberg will star as a former astronaut named Steve Austin, go figure, who is badly damaged in an experimental plane crash, but is saved by doctors who fit him with bionic replacements for both legs, his right arm, and left eye. With his new bionic abilities, he becomes a powerful government agent for the Office of Scientific Intelligence. Now, the reason why I bring this up is because this is one of those other big TV show projects that have been coming out in the past couple of years. This is probably one of the first ones I'll say that I am excited about, to say the least. Mostly because I wasn't a real big fan of the A-Team TV show, but I don't know if you guys saw the A-Team movie.
I haven't actually seen either one of them.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't seen the show. I saw the movie. It's fantastic. Definitely one of the best action movies out there today. And personally, I think that with this day and age, movies that are based on TV shows from the 80s have actually come out pretty good, so long as they're under the right direction. You know what I mean?
Well, of course, yeah.
I mean, not a lot of people like Mark Wahlberg, so it only goes to show
crazy
that
about him. My mom sees his mom all the fucking time at work, at like grocery stores and stuff.
Wait, Mark Wahlberg's mom?
Yeah.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
Really?
That's pretty
Yeah.
neat, actually.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, well, I mean, they have the Wahlburgers in Hingham. They go down there sometimes. We live like right next to Hingham.
Really?
I used to work like in the same plaza as Wahlburgers.
What? Are their
Yeah.
burgers any good there? I don't think I've ever been there.
Not really, to be honest. I mean, well, let me retract that. When they first started up, they were not good at all. I think I've been in there since then and said they were a lot better, but it's a name thing. It's not.
I was gonna say, obviously, it's not Mark who cooks the burgers; it's his brothers, right?
Oh no! Well, I'm saying people probably like it because it's got the Wahlberg name, and
right.
obviously, like Massachusetts, that's like our. We're all about the Wahlbergs because they're from around here, supposedly.
Yeah. I know what you mean by that. Yeah, I could definitely agree with that. I mean, I guess I'd have to go there if it's near you. Then maybe next time I come up into the city or something, I'm going to find my way over there.
Yeah.
And see if I can check out Wahlburgers and give their sandwiches a try.
Also, I should mention this was before. My review comes before I decided that I didn't like Mark Wahlberg very much.
Okay.
Because I decided I didn't like Mark Wahlberg very much the first time I saw an episode of that reality show that follows them around, the Wahlburgers.
Oh, the Wahlburgers TV show?
And I saw an episode, and they're talking to Mark. They're like, Mark, we want to put a Wahlburgers in Boston, in Dorchester, or whatever, I don't remember exactly, but they wanted to keep it local, and Mark's like, no, I want to put one in Japan, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, screw Mark Wahlberg right now. He doesn't want to bring Wahlburgers to Boston. He wants to go fucking put one in Paris.
Yeah, what the hell is up with that?
Yeah, like, screw Mark Wahlberg.
That's really random, actually. Like, why Japan? Why would Japan... I don't know if you guys are actually familiar with this, but Japan has some weird tastes in cheeseburgers.
Yeah.
They have like this... They have like
Black
this
Burger?
thing at Burger King. Yeah, it's I forgot what the name of it was called, but it's this all black burger.
Dude, that sounds
Like,
amazing.
It's all black. Like the cheese is black, the bun is black, and the sauce is black on it. And it's apparently like squid ink sauce.
Jesus.
And it's like the Angus black burger or whatever. And actually, I've seen reviews of it, and some people say it's pretty good.
Huh?
Which I kind of beg to differ because, I mean, squid ink on a burger, like, honestly, like, I'm kind of one of those people where if I hear anything like that, I'm gonna be like, I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest. What the hell?
What?
Who the hell's listening to our podcast?
I was checking to see if anyone's listening.
That scared the crap out of me. I was like, Lawrence, what are you doing?
Why Lawrence?
Well, because he was the one who's muted his mic and stuff, and maybe he decided to listen to it. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. It could have been him. I didn't think it would be you guys. But hey, it's all right. It's all right. I still love you, Lawrence. But they have like... They have like this whole. He's messaging me on Skype.
Yeah.
Gotta be the black guy. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. But seriously, like they even have like in Japan, they have like this whole thing. They like the McDonald's in Japan has the same thing, except like they have like the all black burger, the same thing. And then they have one. It's like a black diamond. It's what it's called. Really? Black diamond has all the all black stuff with the squid ink and stuff, but it's got like lettuce and tomato, which is not black.
No.
So it's like really like
the cheap black burger.
Yeah. It's like the cheap black burger basically. But I thought that was really weird, and I've seen like a lot of crazy shit from Japan. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Travel Channel or you guys watch like Bizarre Foods at all.
Not a whole lot, no.
Bizarre Foods is actually a really interesting show, and he went into Japan for an episode, and he was going to all these unique restaurants in Japan. And what I thought was really interesting was that Japan really has like a lot of really unique trends. And like the hospital they have like a, not the hospital, but there's a restaurant out there that's designed like a spooky hospital.
Ooh.
And there are waitresses that serve drinks through like giant syringes and shit like that. It's like the weirdest thing. And they have like snake ice cream.
Oh,
Like you can get ice cream in all kinds of flavors, from snake to frog and cow. It's really weird. And the weirdest of them all was this mayonnaise place. And you could get like anything with mayonnaise on it. Like anything. Like they sold mayonnaise milkshakes.
What?
There was like mayo fondue.
Bleh.
And it was like literally, if you guys know what fondue is, it's basically just bread and cheese, except the cheese is replaced with mayonnaise. And I'm sitting there like, who would eat this? And of course, this guy tried it out, and he's like, I forget which it was. He had some like chicken dish that had mayonnaise on it, and he was like, "This is actually pretty good. This is a good choice if you want to come to a place like this." And then he had the mayo milkshake, and he's like, "This is just sweetened mayonnaise. This is disgusting." And I was like, "Oh my god." So yeah, that kind of baffles me that Mark Wahlberg wants to bring Wahlburgers over to Japan, because what is he going to bring other than his name?
I don't know if he necessarily said Japan, but it was definitely, across the pond.
Well, yeah, definitely. Well, I guess what I meant by that was, like, if he's going to take it across the pond, Japan and Europe is probably going to be one of those places where he's going to want to go.
Yeah.
If he was going to take it to Japan, I feel like there wouldn't be an extravagant enough selling point other than his name to take with him to Japan. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So there's
Seems
all
awesome.
that, a bunch of that stuff. Anyway, let's move on to the next topic that I got here. I actually just picked this one up. This one came out yesterday. The poster for the Ratchet and Clank movie was revealed the other day.
Ooh.
And it actually looks pretty cool. I don't know if you guys are actually... I know, Jeremy, I think you might actually be familiar with Ratchet and Clank.
Of course.
And Shiva, what about you?
Yeah, I've played one or two on the PlayStation 2.
If Nick was here, he would have told you more about it.
Who? Oh, Nick? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Nick loves that game.
Oh, yeah, I bet he does.
Who's Steve?
Yeah, Steve and Nick. Well, that's why I called Nick, because I knew I was going to talk about this. And, I don't know, have you guys seen, like, the teaser trailers for the movie that had
I have not,
released
actually.
recently? There is a trailer for it.
Is
And
there?
I think it even features Captain Quark in it and everything. It's really ridiculous. Like, now, all of a sudden, Hollywood and gaming companies are kind of getting it now, like...
Boy, games will rule the freaking world, man.
Well, not even that. Like, if you're going to make a movie... Well, think about it. If you're going to make a movie about Ratchet and Clank, you don't want to go live action. You want to make it like an
Obviously.
epic animated movie, right?
3D style, yeah.
They're doing that with... They're doing that with the Sly Cooper series.
Yeah.
And they're doing that with Ratchet and Clank. I mean, like... It's only a matter of time before Nintendo's like, "Hey, we gotta make a Mario animated movie." Although I've heard that Mario is actually going to be featured in the Wreck-It Ralph sequel. Believe it or not.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you guys didn't know that?
Repeat that?
Have either of you guys seen Wreck-It Ralph?
Yeah, I've seen the movie, Wreck-It
I
Ralph.
haven't seen Wreck-It Ralph.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
What?
Wreck-It
Actually,
Ralph is actually...
This brings up a conversation I want to have, but go on.
Oh, well, okay. Well, Wreck-It Ralph, if you've seen Wreck-It Ralph or if you haven't seen Wreck-It Ralph, Mario, like, in the movie, there was like a lot of familiar, like, video game villains, because the main character of the movie is a villain in video games. Mm-hmm. And he has, like, this, like, this meeting, like, Villains Anonymous or whatever, with a whole bunch of other familiar villains. They have, like, Zangief from Street Fighter and Bowser and... Clyde from Pac-Man and a zombie from House of the Dead. It's all like these... It's like a complete... Like, I think even Eggman is there. I'm pretty sure. And they're all there, and they're talking about their feelings and shit. But the whole point of it was that it's like a whole little crossover, and that the video game world is like this big... Like, they live in an arcade, and they can, like, go across and have these little conversations. Like, Wreck-It Ralph goes over to... I forget what the name of the game was, but it's like this I forget what it's called. It's like Root Beer Tap or something like that.
Root Beer Tap.
It's like an arcade game where you play as a bartender and you quickly give people beer. It was changed to root beer tap because
Sounds
beer
like a
was
casual
not.
game.
Yeah, it's like it was pretty cool. Like I didn't even know it was a real game until I looked into it,
Uh-huh.
and I found out that it was actually a real game, which is why I thought it was pretty cool.
That's wicked funny because like that's all like a whole bunch of modern casual games, like those kind of, do an order, serve it up kind of games.
Right, and it was like a really older. It was like an '80s like arcade game too, and they had a lot of those. And Wreck-It Ralph was basically like actually Wreck-It Ralph was in a game called Fix It Felix, which was basically a parody of Donkey Kong.
Uh-huh.
So anyway, because all those villains were featured in that movie, the producers of the movie wanted to have Mario in the movie. And believe it or not, Nintendo was like, if Mario's going to be in the movie, he's got to be the main character. And of course, the producers are like, yeah, that's not going to happen. So Mario never ended up in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But because of how successful Wreck-It Ralph was, they decided that they were going to let Mario be featured in the second one. So I hear. It's a rumor so far, but that's what's going to happen.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, I think that's actually really cool. And I think that, like, a lot of these games that probably, like, the Mario Brothers movie from the early 90s could probably be saved by the 3D animations that they do. And, I mean, although I'm probably sure it'll be watered-down kiddie bullshit, but it'll still be 100% more accurate than the 90s movie that came out. Even though, when I was a kid, I was like, dude, this is so cool, I love the Mario movie.
Yeah.
Like, when you're really little, you don't really care. You just see the dude in the red and blue and the blue and green outfits, and you're like, yeah, this is awesome! But, so, all these new video game movies are great, and I'm excited that they're doing them with the 3D animation and stuff like that, and I'm really, really excited for Ratchet and Clank. I wasn't a really big Ratchet and Clank guy when I was a kid. I played, like, the first one, and I think that was it. And I don't even know if I played most of it. I just played whatever was placed in front of me, I guess, because I had a friend who had it and such and such.
Is Ratchet and Clank gonna be like a Pixar type movie or live action?
That's a good question, actually.
That's a question. You're right.
Yeah, man, that was a question.
Well, I mean, I'm saying it was a good question.
That is a question.
It's being made by Rainmaker Entertainment and Blockade Entertainment, and I don't know if it's whom it's being distributed by. I don't see any significant logos that I would recognize. Sony! That's actually not surprising. Sony would be the one distributing that. It's not surprising at all. I don't know why I didn't guess that at first. Okay, so it's Sony who's distributing that series, and that'll be interesting to see. Okay, so let's talk about the box office for a little bit. So Big Hero 6 just came out.
Yeah! I want to watch it, but I can't.
Really want to see it. Actually, hold up. Let's take a look at this box office link that I'm looking at right now, just so I have my facts straight.
Ooh.
Because from the look of it...
Well, we have a review right here. Lawrence said it was good.
It was good?
It was good.
Oh, wow. So we saw Big Hero 6 and it was good, huh?
It was allegedly good.
Well, according to this past weekend... Oh, wow. So this is the only recent... Wow. Okay, so then maybe I'm looking at the wrong stats here. That's really weird. I only have... See, I was just looking at this link earlier today, and I was like, ooh. What was it? Oh, here it is. Christopher Nolan's Interstellar barely beats Big Hero 6.
Ooh. That's interesting.
In the box office, and I'm not actually very surprised by that because I mean, let's think about it for a second here. Christopher Nolan's Interstellar looks cool, but it's just basically I can narrow it down within a sentence. The Earth is dying, so we send a couple people to go and find us a new home.
Yeah,
that's Interstellar.
And here's what's going to happen. Something bad's going to happen to the spacecraft. They're going to have a rough time flying from place to place.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's going to be so basic. I don't know. I just feel like I've seen the plot. Like, I'm probably going to go because there's going to be some incredible visuals, and I get to see Matthew McConaughey.
Right.
So, I mean, like, I'll spend $9 on that. But
I mean, it's pretty much like if you guys
do
you guys remember the movie The Core at all? It featured Stanley Tucci and Aaron Eckhart, and I forgot what this one dude's name was.
I think so. I think I hated it though.
It was about how like the Earth's atmosphere was shifting because the core was all messed up, and they had to drill into the planet's core and reverse it with nuclear bombs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was all crazy stuff like that. Like, basically, it sounds like Interstellar is the polar opposite of the core. It's like, the planet's dying, we gotta fix it. And then the Interstellar is, the planet's dying, we gotta go find a new home.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically what it sounds like to me. So, apparently, let's take a look at the figures here. We got Interstellar took in an estimated $17 million this Friday. And Big Hero 6... Oh, wow. Just barely beats, and by just barely beats, I mean by like $2 million.
Wow.
Big Hero 6 came in at $15.8 million this week. Which is surprising because I would probably go see Big Hero 6 over Interstellar. Only because this is the first Disney animated Marvel movie that's come out, and it only seems like it's going to be one of those things where... I don't know. All the previews make it look really cool.
What
you talking about, Jeremy?
I love you, man. The Hero 6, good movie.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, wow. So they got a whole bunch of these cool pictures here. If any of our listeners are here with us tonight, you can definitely check out most of these links here on comingsoon.net. It's a great website for movie news. These are usually great reference points for stuff that we like to talk about. The cast and characters of the Warcraft movie have been revealed.
Oh yeah, what about that?
And so
I don't
know much about World of Warcraft, but I know that people have been talking about the World of Warcraft movie for quite some time. And it's going to be directed by a guy named Duncan Jones, and I forget the name seems very familiar. But I'm not exactly sure. But let's see who's in this for now. No names I recognize.
That's it. Nice.
Cast and characters. Oh, okay. Paula Patton is playing a girl named Garona. Dominic Cooper. Oh, I know Dominic Cooper. I'm pretty sure he's the Stark. Howard Stark, I'm pretty sure. And he's playing a king. I don't know who this guy is. Lots of TV actors here. Ben Foster, he's in this. Rob Kaczynski, Daniel Wu, Ruth Negga, Toby Kebbell. Crazy stuff here. World of Warcraft movie. That was one of the big announcements that was happening this week, anyway.
That's weird.
Yeah, I know. It's like, why make a Warcraft movie, to be honest? I mean, like, honestly, I'm sort of surprised that they would even come out with a Warcraft movie in the first place.
And where in the lore does this happen?
Right.
Because Warcraft is like a big, long story.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Like, I never really played Warcraft, so I'm not really familiar with the story in itself.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if it actually has a story.
Yeah, it does.
It just seems like it's just one of those get online and play RPGs. But I suppose if that were the case, then it would be just this one big hodgepodgey mess.
Well, before it was World of Warcraft, it was a real-time strategy game called Warcraft.
Right.
And there was 1, 2, 3, and then expansions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think they made a 4. But, so then World of Warcraft came out, and then, obviously in that there's millions and millions of little quests and stories and shit.
Right.
Yeah.
So it just makes you wonder how they can narrow that down to something that would make people happy, you know what I mean? But of course that would just make, as a filmmaker, that would just kind of make you fail. in general, trying to make everybody happy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Moving on, we have a few cool movie announcements, along with the other main topic that we're going to be talking about today. But there have been two big movies that have been announced recently, and one of them is the official title for Star Wars Episode 7.
What is it?
Either of you guys have heard about it yet?
I
Heard
have.
about it.
The official subtitle for the next Star Wars movie is going to be called The Force Awakens.
Ooh.
What?
Yeah, it's just kind of like, I'm told that it is, The Force Awakens, I think, is something from an actual, like, book. So it's actually going to be something that, like, a fan of Star Wars made, I think. Which would be really cool. But I'm not exactly sure. I mean, like, I'm only going in just based on what I'm seeing here. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's going to be starring all the main cast.
Yeah.
Including, I'm pretty sure Benedict Cumberbatch is going to play a Sith Lord, I think.
What?
Yeah, I think he's going to play a Sith Lord. For those of you who don't know who Benedict Cumberbatch is, he was recently announced. Well, actually, I'll save that for the end. But he played Khan in Star Trek Into Darkness, and he was the voice of the dragon in the second Hobbit film, and the third one that's actually coming out, which has a trailer that was released. So definitely check that out because I'm excited for the third Hobbit film. Andy Serkis Andy Serkis has really been in a lot of movies. You guys know who Andy Serkis is?
Very important circus.
What about you, Shiva?
I don't think so.
Really? You guys don't know who Andy Serkis is?
Oh.
I'm surprised that Shiva doesn't know. Andy Serkis he's most famous for all of his mocap performances. He does all the mocap for most of Peter Jackson's movies because he did King Kong from the 2005 King Kong movie. He did Gollum with all the movies that feature Gollum, so all three Lord of the Rings movies and the first Hobbit movie. And apparently he did some mocap for the Hulk in the recent Avengers movie that's coming out. And he also plays some minor roles in certain movies. I
might have heard about this guy.
Yeah, he's like he's kind of like a big deal in the mocap world. And the only reason I know who he is because he plays a lot of like creature characters and stuff like that. And I like a lot of creature character movies. So that's interesting to see. But he's apparently in this new Star Wars movie, which I did not know. So that's something else. Mm-hmm. And, but they got all that. I'm glad that was officially announced because there wasn't a lot of things going on about the new Star Wars movie yet. It was kind of like everybody's talking about, Avengers and Batman vs. Superman and all these other crazy superhero movies. Nobody was talking about Star Wars, so I'm glad there was some sort of official stuff that was released.
Yeah.
About Star Wars.
For sure.
And the next big movie that I'm actually really excited about that was just announced is called The Theory of Everything. I don't know if you guys heard about this movie.
No.
This is a movie about Stephen Hawking, believe it or not.
Oh, one of those movies.
There's a trailer. There's a trailer online. You can check it out on YouTube if you look up The Theory of Everything. It's actually a very heartbreaking movie, just from the trailer already. Because if you see a glimpse into his life, and then you see how he gets that disease that basically turns him into who he is, which is, the dude who's like, "Hello, I'm Stephen Hawking." Stuff like that. Yeah, you don't know who Stephen Hawking is, Jeremy?
I know who he is, man.
He's a famous scientist.
I know. I'm quite aware of that.
Okay, well, good. Well, you're just not saying much right now.
Because I don't know what to say.
Well, you just say whatever comes to your mind, I suppose.
You're going to give me that power.
I mean, not everything that comes to your mind, but you know what I mean.
Bananas.
Yes, bananas. So there's that's coming out, and it actually, if you check out the trailer, it's pretty cool. I'm excited for it. It seems like one of those movies that's definitely going to be an Oscar contender, I think. Mostly just because it covers a very interesting character such as Stephen Hawking.
Yeah.
All right, now into the meat of this podcast, and we're going to talk about the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, I don't know if either Jeremy or Shiv here have had any familiarity with it at all, but since the release of Guardians of the Galaxy, there have been some huge announcements in regards to what's coming next after the second Avengers film.
I have heard. There's a lot of interesting things there.
There's a lot of crazy stuff happening.
Uh-huh.
And one of these things, first off, is that Age of Ultron. The Age of Ultron trailer was released. And for those of you guys who don't know, Ultron is he's like Skynet placed into a robot. And then he kind of... So basically, he's Skynet in his most basic form. That's the best way I can describe him. But he's a Skynet that wants to destroy anything and everything because he feels like that's what's going to make the world a better place. Mm-hmm. And after the first Avengers movie, I was really excited because I was like, oh, there's so much potential. You know, I can't wait until, they come up with the next villain. And I was like, Ultron has got to be the next guy.
Mm-hmm.
Because he is definitely one of those villains that totally changes shit. And if you guys aren't already familiar with the comics or any of the TV shows that have come out, he is definitely like a deal breaker. Like, I'm pretty sure the only person... They have actually made an animated feature film about Ultron where he actually succeeded in taking over the world and killed all the Avengers.
That's cool.
And all that was left were their kids and the Hulk.
Of course,
And
Hulk
even
live.
obviously, the Hulk is an old man, and it's funny to see the Hulk with this long white hair and a beard. It was hilarious. You can check it out on Netflix. It's called The Next Avengers.
Okay.
Oh, I have that. They have 1 and 2.
Yeah. It's a fantastic animated film. And of course the younger Avengers, like it's Captain America and Black Widow's son, it's Hawkeye's son, it's Thor's daughter. Tony Stark is still alive, I think. He's the only other one that's still alive, but he's like training these guys. And Ultron has taken over the fucking world. And basically, towards the end, the kids have so much trouble beating Ultron, and it's Ant-Man's and the Wasp's kid, because those two are the original members of the Avengers. The girl who can shrink and fly, and the guy who can get really big. And he eventually agitates the Hulk enough to bring him out, and then he defeats Ultron. So it was basically no point for
the entire movie.
Yeah, there was no point for the kids even being there in the first place, because the Hulk just kind of came in, beat the shit out of Ultron to the point where the kids could come in and drive the critical blows onto him.
Couldn't Hulk control himself this time or something?
I don't know if it was that he could control himself. It was just that... Oh, I don't know. That's a good question, actually. I only watched the movie once. Maybe I'll have to watch it again. But I would say no. Only because it's kind of like... The Hulk, in most cases, is kind of like a weapon that the Avengers just kind of point at something. And then he just kind of destroys it.
Yeah.
So that's the way it's going to be, really.
Yeah.
But in that film, it's definitely one of those movies that you guys should definitely check it out if you're not already familiar with who Ultron is as a character, as well as the Earth's Mightiest Heroes Avengers TV series that is also on Netflix. It's a great. If you guys grew up with the Justice League TV series on Cartoon Network, you guys are gonna love the Avengers series. It's basically that with Marvel characters. It's fantastic. It's
cool.
It's really good. It features all the major Marvel characters. Even the Guardians of the Galaxy are in it at some point. They have like the Scree and the Krull. Or no, it's not the Scree and Krull. The Kree and the Skrull. And like all this big like Marvel Universe stuff that once you watch all that stuff, you don't even have to read a single comic book. You can just watch all 3 seasons that had come out, and you'll be like, oh, okay, because then you can go to the Marvel movies, and you'll be like, oh, okay, I know exactly what that is.
Yeah.
So you get a basic understanding if you don't want to read through like 60 years of comic book history.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, so, I mean, there's that option. But Avengers Age of Ultron had a trailer leak, and there's actually somebody, they actually, believe it or not, Marvel found somebody whom to sue. Because the trailer was leaked ahead of time, because it was supposed to be premiered during an episode of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. TV series.
Oh.
They actually found the account and who leaked it, and they demanded, like, legally, like, I don't know what they did, but they got Google to give them all the information based on
Google.
Yeah, like, Google was forced to give out information towards
Google
this dude whom apparently leaked the video, which was completely shocking to me. But that one single person had access to the trailer and uploaded it, because when I saw it for the first time, it was a decent quality. It wasn't like somebody filming it on their iPhone or something like that. Like, it was like a file that was directly ripped from something else and placed onto the website. So that was surprising.
Yeah. Very interesting.
I don't know. Have you guys seen the? I know I showed Jeremy the Age of Ultron trailer.
Mm-hmm.
But what about you, Shiva? Have you seen it?
I have. Yeah,
Good thoughts.
looks interesting.
It definitely, like, judging by what I've seen in the trailer, like, a lot of people are sort of speculating on what's going on, and one of the things that they're speculating on is, oh, who's piloting the Iron Man armor? Because you remember there's a scene with the Hulkbuster suit. You know, there's like the Iron Man suit that fights the Hulk, and people are like, oh, who's piloting that? That can't be Tony Stark. And I'm kind of like, really? Like, why wouldn't it be Tony Stark? I mean, some people say that, you know, Ultron has the ability to control machines like that and stuff like that, but I don't think that that's the case. I think that in this movie there's going to be this legitimate fight that happens where the Hulk actually gets loose and kind of goes on a rampage, and Tony's kind of like, okay, well, I got to break this suit out.
Yeah.
Otherwise the city's going to get destroyed, and there's this whole conflict that happens.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm almost not even completely torn about that whatsoever. I'm definitely sure that Iron Man's going to have to tango with the Hulk at some point in this movie, and there's going to be a lot of things that are going on afterwards, because Ultron is just going to change a lot. I mean, I've heard that some spoilers that some people are going to die, or some people are going to leave the Avengers, and that's...
Oh my god.
Yeah, like, it's going to be like a big... It's going to be like a big deal, honestly.
Nice.
And it's just one of those things that... It's just kind of like what the first Avengers did for the whole series in general, because it was like the what they call Phase 1 was, you know, it was all leading up to the Avengers, and now this second phase is leading up to this next Avengers movie.
Mm-hmm.
And the first Avengers kind of changed a lot, because it was all about, you know, it wasn't based on Earth anymore, because then they came out with Guardians of the Galaxy and Thor 2, and it was all about, like, the intergalactic stuff.
Yeah.
Did you see Guardians of the Galaxy, by the way, Shiva?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I thought it was really good.
Yeah?
I really, I want to see it again.
Really?
I wish I saw it again while it was in theaters.
I think I did see it twice.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Definitely worth another watch.
Yeah, it was definitely one of those Marvel movies. That is what really, I guess, changed Marvel's minds about what they were planning on doing, apparently, for this next, for what they call Phase 3.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be exciting to hear. But Age of Ultron is definitely going to be on my list for 2015 summer movies. That's going to be very exciting to happen.
Yeah.
So, since that trailer has come out, there have been quite a few movies that have been announced in regards to that trailer. There have actually been 8 movies that have been announced.
Oh, yeah.
That go all the way to 2019.
That's insane.
Yeah, like
insane, dude.
Officially, they have been announced. And I watched the video as well from the official Marvel announcement. And after Ant-Man, which comes out next year, which is the only Marvel movie that comes out after the Avengers, the third Captain America is going to happen. And that's going to happen in the summer, May 2016. And what I saw in the video was that it was called Captain America Serpent Society.
Uh-huh.
Which Serpent Society is a group of villains that are all named after snakes. Obviously, I mean, it was just kind of like, when I saw that at first, I was like, really? The Serpent Society? Like, that's so random.
Yes, the serpents.
The Serpent Society.
I love snakes, though. Snakes are pretty cool.
I mean, yeah, it looks cool, but I mean, like I said, when you watch the animated show and you find out who the Serpent Society is, you're like, no, those guys, I don't think they would fit in a movie. But I don't know. I personally, I don't think so. But I mean, check it out for yourself. You guys will probably figure it out. But now the official title has been created as Captain America Civil War.
Yeah.
Captain America Civil War, if you guys aren't already familiar, our audience out there, Civil War is all about the superhero universe kind of dividing itself based on a bill created by the U.S. government that basically, it's the Superhero Registration Act.
Mm-hmm.
And there are two sides of the same coin to this whole thing. Tony Stark's all like, yeah, this is a good idea. We need to register people into this whole shenanigan. And Captain America's like, no, I don't think that's a good idea at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I've actually seen a clip from Age of Ultron where that kind of starts.
Yeah.
There's actually, there's a discussion between Iron Man and Captain America that sort of alludes to this whole Civil War. And that actually makes me very excited because this kind of thing has never been done before. I mean, 2016 is actually also going to be, ironically enough, Captain America Civil War, I bet you I know why Marvel's doing this, is because 2016 is also the same year Batman vs. Superman comes out.
Ah.
So it's Captain America vs. Iron Man and Batman vs. Superman coming out next year.
Jesus.
So I think that's what's going to happen in this coming May. And I'm pretty sure, I don't know when exactly Batman vs. Superman is happening, but that's definitely what's become as official. Age of Ultron is definitely going to set up Civil War for the next Captain America movie, so I am absolutely amped to find out what exactly is going to happen.
Yeah.
And then they announced the second Guardians of the Galaxy, which was no surprise, really. Guardians of the Galaxy is the second highest grossing Marvel movie of all time, according to some records.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I think that's a great thing. Guardians of the Galaxy, I mean, the direction that they're going is all going to be, like, cosmic. You know, they're all going, like, outer space and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I think that's going to be a fantastic adjustment to where they're going, because they've also announced Black Panther, Captain Marvel, and Doctor Strange as individual superhero movies in November and July. And Black Panther has already been cast, too. I don't know if you guys know that.
No, it didn't. Who is it?
Black Panther is being played by a guy named Chadwick Boseman.
Uh-huh.
He's in the movie 42.
I don't
If you
think
guys are
I've seen that.
familiar with the movie 42 is great. If you
Is
guys
it twice
wanna,
as good as 21?
21? I don't know if I've actually... I don't think I've even seen 21. That's the Kevin Spacey movie, right?
Fuck, I don't... Hold on, I don't even remember. I was thinking, like, that Blackjack movie.
Well, 21 is definitely the Blackjack movie, but I don't know if he was in it. All I know is that Chadwick Boseman plays Jackie Robinson in...
I don't know what I'm talking about.
42. And he was announced to play Black Panther officially, and they even released an official photo of what the Black Panther suit is going to look like. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
And for 2000, and then there's Doctor Strange, which has already been announced that Benedict Cumberbatch will be playing Doctor Strange, which is also really cool. I think it's really cool, mostly because Doctor Strange is more on the mystical side of the Marvel world, and I've been kind of waiting for that to happen since the first Thor movie came out. Because in the first Thor movie, there's all these different relics that are kept in Odin's vault. You know, with the Bifrost or whatever it's called. Like the little thing that freezes people in the first Thor movie. I almost said horror movie. That thing happens to be in the same vault with the things like the Infinity Gauntlet and the Eye of Agamotto and all these crazy items that you'd look at that and you'd be like, oh my god, I know what that is. Or at least a guy like me, being a huge Marvel dude, would be like, yeah, I totally know what that is. And so it's going to be great. I hope to see more of that because that would bring in a whole bunch of great new aspects to the story and be fantastic. And
I wonder if Marvel would ever consider doing like any games to add to their universe.
oh yeah, like that would actually be a great idea. Like I'm pretty sure Marvel itself still has the right to make like X-Men and Spider-Man games that maybe could somehow be linked to the movies, maybe?
I think they should I think it would be great for them to do like a really big game like Ultimate Alliance. I don't know if you ever played that, but it's like a beat 'em up
Love that
player.
game.
Yeah, I actually still have it.
Yeah,
Really?
you can pick all kinds of Marvel characters, and I think if they did one where they pick like every character, or not every character, but like a shitload of characters, I think that would be really cool.
Oh yeah, I would agree. That would actually be a fantastic idea, to be honest.
Yeah, bruh.
And like, I mean, they have the Marvel Universe Online thing that's going on, or whatever. Marvel Heroes Online that's going on right now. And honestly, I think that's cool, but it's not really the kind of game that I mean, they actually, believe it or not, had a game that was announced to come out with the Avengers movie, and it was like a first-person game, and you could play as Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, or the Hulk, and you could pick between the four of them, and you would fight bad guys that way. Like, if you look it up, it was a canceled game, and they never came out with it, which was really quite a bummer, because I was looking forward to the whole Avengers game that was coming out.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like when The Dark Knight came out, and there was no game that came out, and
3D.
you know, I was hoping for an open world Batman game, and that would be freaking awesome. Like if they did an open world Avengers game, like I'm pretty sure that would just kill it in the video game market, because imagine being able to pick between your favorite Avenger and go around and do all the missions that you wanted to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A Grand Theft Auto with superheroes would just be fantastic.
The fun with superheroes.
Well, but you know what I mean? Like that.
I know, sandbox, huge sandbox like that.
That
Yeah,
just seems like that would be a really cool thing, and I've only seen that happen with like 2 characters so far, or actually 4. It's only been done with Hulk, Spider-Man, Superman, and Batman. And I would totally like to see it with Iron Man. And
Wait, did the
I would
Superman?
totally like. Yes, they did. They did one game. Well, if you count the Superman 64,
No.
that counts as one.
No way.
But Superman Returns actually came out with a game that was kind of open world, and you could fly all through Metropolis and stuff, and you didn't actually have a health bar.
Mm-hmm.
Your health bar was actually the city's health bar.
What?
Yeah, it was actually pretty interesting. Like I thought it was a really cool way of sort of doing Superman in a sense for a video game. So if you didn't protect the city good enough, then you would fail a mission. So if if the city's health fell to a critical level, that would be a problem. So Superman wouldn't be able to be killed himself. It would be the city that you would have to worry about, and that is what I thought would make a great Superman game.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's like, you know, Superman's invincible unless we're talking about kryptonite here, and obviously not every villain has kryptonite on hand, blah 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 blah, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So there's that going on. So a open world Avengers game would be fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
so the next two movies, we got the second Thor movie, which is coming out. There's a lot of mystery surrounding it.
Wasn't there already another Thor movie? Isn't that like the third one?
The Thor movie is called Thor Ragnarok.
Ragnarok.
And I don't know if you guys are familiar with Norse mythology or whatsoever, but Ragnarok is actually the Norse mythological word for the end of the world.
End of the world, all the gods died.
And yeah, like all the gods
Giddy.
go into this
I love
eternal
that.
battle, and they all like kill each other and stuff like that. Yeah, something like that. And so I'm actually kind of worried about that, mostly because I don't want Thor to die, because I like Thor as a character better than I do Loki.
Okay, so extreme.
Most people will be sounding, most people will be like, blasphemy! But honestly, I think that Thor is a much more interesting character than Loki is and stuff like that. But judging by what happened at the end of Thor, that's not going to be something that is going to happen. And then we got the one other odd man out here called Inhumans, which is coming out in 2018, 2nd of November. I don't know if are either of you guys familiar with the Inhumans at all?
I am not, actually.
Well, I'll put it this way and move on to the next one. But the Inhumans are the X-Men from another dimension.
So they're... No,
Interesting.
no puns here.
I mean, they're definitely there's a guy named let me say it this way. Their Professor X is a guy who literally can't speak, because even if he whispers, his voice would destroy the Grand Canyon. And that's like how ridiculous it is. So the Inhumans is kind of an interesting turn for Marvel in their cinematic universe and stuff like that. So I'm honestly surprised that they're going in that direction. And they're doing Captain Marvel, but I don't really care about Captain Marvel all that much. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're doing Carol Danvers as the new Captain Marvel. So it's basically Miss Marvel, but they don't want to call it Miss Marvel for whatever reason.
Mr. Marvel.
And then finally, Avengers 3, their official title was announced. And it was Avengers Infinity War. Now, I actually did some digging with Infinity War, and there are two parts to this movie series that's happening here for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And oh my god. And I actually have a theory about this, because are you guys familiar with the Infinity Gauntlet or anything that surrounds that?
Nah, dog.
Well, let me put it this way. You guys remember the Tesseract from the Avengers and Captain America?
I do.
The blue cube, and then there was the red stuff from Thor, and then the purple thing from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
All those things are considered Infinity Stones. And they're all items that go onto this glove that basically lets you control all aspects of reality. So there's a time gem, a soul gem, power gem, all these different... I'm pretty sure there's 5 of them for each finger.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy at the end of the first Avengers, Thanos, in the comic books, he actually gets a hold of it and really does some serious bullshit. And from the looks of it, the Avengers, or the Marvel Cinematic Universe, is actually going to be setting up to do this, which is fantastic, because I have a theory about this. Because, I mean, there's a guy named Adam Warlock, whom it was featured as an Easter egg in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. He's in his cocoon or whatever. He leads the fight against Thanos in this Infinity War, and he ultimately wins, and there's all this complicated bullshit that happens, and time changes and stuff like that. But I have a theory that basically what happens is, for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, my guessing is that by May 2019, Marvel Comics is going to have the rights to all of their properties back. All of them. They have Blade, they have Ghost Rider, they have Daredevil, they have everybody. And the only 2 that they don't have, or the only 3 that they don't have, are X-Men, Fantastic Four, and Spider-Man. And my guess is that the Infinity War is going to be all about how they fight Thanos and something happens in between it or whatever, and Thanos completely changes the entire timeline of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Mm-hmm. And by that time, Marvel will have Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, and the X-Men all in their universe. And then what will happen was that Infinity Gauntlet will rewrite history, and they'll start their own new cinematic universe revolving around Fantastic Four, the X-Men, and Spider-Man.
That's cool.
And I think that that's what's going to happen, honestly, from the next 2014, so 6 years from now, I'm pretty sure that's what's going to be announced.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know you guys don't know a lot about the subject, but as you can tell, I'm definitely crazy about the subject. But I think that this whole thing that Marvel is planning is fantastic. I mean, DC's kind of behind. I mean, I'm excited about Batman versus Superman, but at the same time, it's like, why don't you just make a Man of Steel 2 the minor role for Batman and then lead into that? Like, come on.
Yeah.
Instead, they got to pack in as many characters as they can, and I'm more worried about that movie than I am Age of Ultron and stuff like that. But who knows? You never know. When I saw Iron Man 3 for the first time, I was actually pretty disappointed. So,
yeah.
You never know. But we're down to about 3 minutes and 50 seconds, so if there's anything else you guys would like to talk about, feel free to say something.
Nah. I'm out of topics. I feel like a lame ass, but...
Well, you did say something earlier that you said you were... you said you wanted to bring up. I forgot what it was about, though. It was one of the... You actually answered my question when you were talking, though. About what?
It was about the legalities of using...
Have you got one?
What do you call it? Characters in Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the only thing that I could really think about that was that, it was just something that Nintendo wanted to do and stuff like that. So, I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
But all in all, thank you guys for being here tonight. We only got an hour for this, mostly because this Mixler account I have only gives us about an hour, but I figured an hour was all that we needed to talk about whatever bullshit we wanted to talk about.
You're right,
Mixler.
bro.
So, thank you, Shiva, for coming. Thank you, Jeremy, for joining us
Thanks
here.
for having me.
Yeah.
I know, we'll definitely have to keep doing this every Saturday or so.
Would there be cake?
Yeah, dude, I'm down.
I'm down.
I would like to have a whole bunch of topics that you guys could actually contribute to, but I really wanted to discuss this because I felt like, this was kind of a big deal to talk about. So, you never know. But, in any case, thank you all for those of you who were tuned in tonight. I appreciate you guys tuning in and listening to us ramble, mostly me, ramble on about everything.
Costa, did anyone tune in tonight?
It looks like we got one person tuning in, unless I'm looking at the wrong thing. But we got some people tuning in, so that's fantastic. Next Saturday, we'll probably be posting up the topic for next Saturday on my Facebook page. You can follow that. You can follow me on Twitter at @TheMattCosta. You can follow me on Facebook /TheMatthewCosta. I'm pretty sure. Oh no, it's the Matt Costa Project. Never mind, not the Matthew Costa. You can also check out my YouTube page /Pinkula999. I gotta change that name, I swear. And you can also follow me on Twitch, where Jeremy and I play late night shows every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday late nights. That'll be our late night gaming show. And Jeremy also has a channel that you can follow him on. And it's pretty much all that we got, unless Shiva's got some details that he wants to dish out for him.
About what?
About,
about myself? You can find me at, by looking up my name on Facebook.
I was hoping you would say shiv.com.
If I had Shiv.com up and running, I would be promoting it non.
Shiv.com.
Shiv.com. Shiv.com. Shiv.
All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next Saturday. Peace.
Peace.